Hi guys, so I played with ABC in the last ABC tournament actually. Didn't perform too well, but I thought I can talk about some combos and interactions anyways, so have fun with the things to remember. Okay, so here we have the basic 2-card combo. We need the Field Spell, Union Hanger and an Extender, either a Gadget or a Photon Thresher. So just search a piece with Union Hanger, summon the Extender, summon the piece, equip B, make an Xyz with Tsukuyomi, effect Tsukuyomi, detach the last piece, and then we get to draw 2 cards, banish everything and make Dragon Buster. With just 2 cards, we also get to draw cards in an ideal scenario where also setting traps. And yeah, that's how you're basically going to win most of your games. Okay, and here we have the 3-card combo where you need 2 extenders and the field spell, and then yeah, that's an Xyz plus Dragon Buster. So we can see searching C, which is in this case actually important. Summoning both extenders, summon C, equip B. We can equip C now actually to a gadget. So yeah, and then we can send this one, special summon A, and then banish everything. And could also make a Rafflesia instead. It depends on the matchup, and then we have basically 2 interruptions. Okay, the next combo is Brilliant Fusion plus Union Hanger, which actually also ends on Abyss Dweller plus Dragon Buster. Only Abyss Dweller because you need to detach the Nexus material. You can also go for the normal play, as Brilliant Fusion can just be an extender, but yeah, this can be better depending on the matchup. So yeah, here you can see playing it with Trick Clown, so you have another light target, and then you can just go like for the normal stuff. But you can make instead now here the Abyss Dweller. You can actually use the second normal summon of the Weapon Knight and then make also the ABC Dragon Buster. Yeah. Okay, so here we have a combo of B, either A or C, and Brilliant Fusion, which gives you the same stuff as the Extender plus Union Hanger combo without actually needing to see the Union Hanger. So here we can see it. We're Trick Clown again as another Extender, which we need for making Tsukuyomi. Just normal summon both pieces, equip B to A and search, and yeah, discard C and make Dragon Buster, drawing 2 cards. Well, and if you draw a Brilliant Fusion and 2 pieces, but not B, but just C and A, you can still make Dragon Buster, though it is a bit minus. You're just sending the missing piece, normal summon A and C, and can just make Dragon Buster the hard way. Okay, next we have a combo of Brilliant Fusion, a Gadget, and any ABC piece, which also makes Dragon Buster. So nothing too exciting. In this case we actually do not need a Trick Clown, instead we mill a piece. Then, and with Gigant we search the third missing piece, get the second normal summon, then can make Dragon Buster again. Okay, and some people like to run Transmodify and Galaxy Soldiers in their ABC deck, just to have a more explosive first turn. And there's also this first combo, which if you open Union Hanger plus Transmodify ends on Dragon Buster and Infinity. And yeah, just search like B, normal summon equip, you can send with Transmodify, then summon soldier, soldier search another soldier, B, search for missing piece, and yeah, just make Infinity and make Dragon Buster. And here we have a Galaxy Soldier combo where you just hard drew the Galaxy Soldier without Transmodify. You need a gadget because you need the machine type, and yeah, can show it. This still ends on Dragon Buster plus Infinity. So just basically do the normal stuff, but when we instead make the Gigant X because we need to search for another light monster as a second discard fodder for our Galaxy Soldier, and then just summon both Galaxy Soldiers and make Infinity, and then also make the Dragon Buster. Okay, next we're actually going to talk about how Twin Twisters and Dark Hole can actually help us combo. So for instance, going second, if we have Union Hanger and stuff, we can search for C, equip B, go into the battle phase, crash the C, B gets destroyed, we are actually able to search for A, so the missing piece, and then we can use Twin Twister, discard A, and have access to Dragon Buster because we have all the pieces in our field or graveyard. Okay, and secondly, I want to show you how you can actually combo with Dark Hole. It's not a good thing, but if stuff goes wrong, it's kind of nice. So you need Union Hanger and your Dark Hole and a piece. So you're going to normal summon your piece, equip C, and then with Dark Hole you can attempt to destroy your own piece. C's protection effect kicks in. This is by the way important. Union protection effects are mandatory. So you cannot just let your C and B both get destroyed by this Dark Hole. C will always protect your B, which can be really annoying, so it's a good thing to know actually. And then you're going to be able to summon your A, and then you have all the stuff to make the ABC Dragon Buster. By the way, if you actually draw C, so you have like Union Hanger, C and another piece, then you cannot equip C from the deck, then you're just going to normal summon your Crush Wyvern, and then activate Darkhold. Crush Wyvern gets destroyed, and then you summon your other piece from your hand, equip the missing piece from the deck, and then you still have everything on the field to make Dragon Buster. Okay, next interaction is Photon Thrasher is actually an out to Magispector Kareen, which is otherwise usually a really annoying card to deal with because it just bounces your Xyz and stuff, prevents you from making Dragon Buster and cannot be destroyed, targeted, and so on. But if you have Photon Thrasher, you can just special summon Photon Thrasher and go into the battle phase and then threaten Kareen by just attacking over it. And that's the cool part. Even if like Kareen attempts to bounce you, that's also fine. Then main phase 2 you can just special summon your Photon Thrasher again, because Photon Thrasher isn't a hard once per turn, special summon itself from the hand. So if your opponent bounces, you can still do your plays in main phase 2, and if your opponent doesn't bounce, you're just going to attack over the Kareen with your 2100 attack points. Okay, next we're going to talk about a couple of the usual outs people are playing for ABC Dragon Buster. Usual outs are stuff like Kaijus and System Down, because they just remove ABC Dragon Buster, because stuff like Raigekyo and so on has the problem that you can just like tag out and then it does nothing. But because these cards are sometimes really popular, what some people are doing is that during your opponent's draw phase or standby phase even, they instantly tag out the ABC Dragon Buster when they are going to summon all the pieces, and are just saying, okay, if you actually have like this out, I just get destroyed and this is really annoying. But you also get the trigger of Union Hanger, which is kind of cool. But yeah, if you do not have it, it's just a good thing. So like the Gameciel right now does basically nothing. If you are just 3 vanilla monsters, actually it usually just helps you even more if this stuff gets removed. And on the next turn you can make Dragon Buster again and stuff. System Down is now a bit more interesting because System Down still banishes everything. But the benefit if you tag out during the standby phase is that you actually get to equip B Buster Drake from your deck. So if your opponent activates System Down now, well, your ABC Dragon Buster in your graveyard still gets banished, and these two pieces still get banished, but this piece does not get banished actually, because B Buster Drake makes your card unaffected from spell effects, and System Down is a spell effect. So, and then if your opponent tries to destroy your A Assault Core, B gets destroyed instead, you search for C, and then on the next turn you have ABC Dragon Buster again. This is not a perfect counter, obviously, as your opponent, if you tag out early, is just going to normal summon like a monster, attack over the A Assault Core, usually, which is also probably why you should turn it to attack mode, or equip the Crush Wyvern, so it isn't as easy. The Crush Wyvern, in that case, is most likely the best target, actually. You're going to float with your B Buster Drake, search a new piece, and then nothing is protected anymore. Your opponent will use System Down during main phase 2, everything gets banished, and you only have one piece in your hand. So actually you do not have a guaranteed Dragon Buster on the following turn, but still you survive for sure the battle phase, which is nice. And yeah, your opponent needed to waste a couple of resources, and you still have another monster in your hand, which is still a way better case than if you do not take out your ABC Dragon Buster early and just get completely destroyed by System Down. Because of this, actually, late during the format, people started playing Pot of Acquisitiveness, because if you do this play and take out your ABC Dragon Buster early, you can just chain Pot of Acquisitiveness, shuffle all the 3 pieces back from your opponent, and draw a card, which is a thing which people did back then during the day. Currently, I have not really seen this card because most people do not take out the ABC Dragon Buster, but yeah, this is like, yeah, coin toss, usually if people want to play like System Down or Pot of Acquisitiveness. Some other things is that you can actually also use Book of Eclipse as a thing to, like, if your opponent uses System Down, you just chain Book of Eclipse, book all of your monsters your System Down cannot see that they are machines, and thereby like also dodge System Down. It's not the greatest play, but it's an option. And another card which got kind of popular is Magnet Reverse, which lets you summon back a machine type or rock type monster. And this is something people cited in going first specifically, because it doesn't matter if your opponent has Gameciel or System Down, you can just use Magnet Reverse, it actually summons either from being banished or in the graveyard. So if it gets Kaiju'd, you can bring ABC Dragon Buster back, and if System Town gets used, you can still just bring ABC Dragon Buster back even though it's banished. So this was a card which is really good going first because it guarantees your ABC Dragon Buster even through the outs people are playing. Okay, another thing, if you take out your ABC Dragon Buster, if you want to summon all of them in defense position, it's not always true because a card like Aurikark exists which deals double piercing damage. So against Metal Foes it can actually be really important to summon your A Assault Core in attack position so you don't get like double pierced for a lot of damage. On the other hand, if your opponent is playing stuff like Utopia the Lightning, it tends to be better to summon everything in defense position so you don't like eat 5k to your face basically. But that really depends. So maybe you should think about the position of your ABC pieces from time to time, depending on your opponent's deck. Usually, though, you will put B and C to defense position, and A, it depends upon the matchup. Next funny interaction is actually Torrential Tribute and your ABC Dragon Buster if you're playing Torrential Tribute. Because if your opponent summons stuff, you can just go ahead and use the ABC Dragon Buster as Chainlink 1, and then use Torrential Tribute as Chainlink 2 to the summon. Chainlink 2 resolves, all the monsters get destroyed, the ABC Dragon Buster already tagged out, and then as Chainlink 1, all of your pieces come back. So basically, you didn't lose your field and everything from your opponent still got destroyed, which is kind of nice. Okay, next interesting interaction is that the Union Hanger's effects are not hard once per turn. You can only activate Union Hanger, the card itself, once per turn, but the effects can basically be used multiple times per turn. So if you have already a face-up Union Hanger, you can use Union Hanger's effect to equip another piece from your deck. And then, still, if you have another Union Hanger, you can just activate a Union Hanger. This would be now the first one because the other Union Hanger was from a previous turn. Search for an ABC piece, summon this piece, and then use the effect again of Union Hanger to equip something from the deck, which can be kind of cool to get access to a lot of pieces and then make like double ABC Dragon Buster in one turn. Okay, let's say you have an awkward hand and you only have a Union Hanger which is playable. Which piece should you add usually? Usually in this case you want to add C. The benefit of C is that C has under 1500 attack points, so you do not get destroyed by Bottomless Trap Hole, which some decks are playing if they are playing with Lysia. And also this is basically the best way to guarantee you that you won't die, because if your opponent now starts swinging at you, your B will be destroyed, searching for A, which is the next missing piece, which is kind of cool. And also, if your opponent attacks now again, your C gets destroyed, and your C is able to summon your A Assault Core from your hand. So basically, your opponent needs to destroy one monster, which gets destroyed, destroy C another time, and then you get another body which needs to get destroyed again. One also important thing is that sadly, Union Hanger doesn't work during the damage step. So if C Crush Wyvern gets destroyed and you summon A from your hand, you're not able to equip an ABC piece from your deck because all of this then happens during the damage step. Okay, and two more small interactions. So Silver and Gold Gadget have two effects. On the one hand, when they are summoned, they let you summon a level 4 machine monster from your hand, which is nice. And when they are destroyed, they summon the other gadget from the deck usually. The thing which is important is that you can only use one of these effects. So if you use the effect to summon a monster from your hand, if the gadget now gets destroyed, you are not allowed to summon another gadget from the deck, which is a bit sad, but yeah, something good to keep in mind. And one last thing I wanna also tell you is with Tsukuyomi, allowing you like to discard your entire hand. This is basically the reason why people didn't like running that many hand traps in ABC and prefer traps. Usually because if you play a lot of hand traps and you then go for the standard combo, you will just discard all of them. So playing traps tends to like just give you the stronger boards, even though it's a bit worse going second.